Hi, hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Socially Unsocial. That's Patty,
I'm Patty, that's Danielle.
and we are here. Duh.
We are here. We are excited.
Yes, we are. Okay,
What day is it? Is it the
Okay.
last day of June when this airs?
It is.
Bum, bum, bum.
So happy
Holy-
happy 4th of July week.
We don't call it that now. We call it Happy Birthday Week to me.
Well, I was eventually going to get there. I was like, okay, it's 4th of July week, it's Patty's birthday, and then the low of it all is the 1 year anniversary of your father passing.
I
So
know.
we have highs within lows.
We started off with a bang.
Sorry.
We're just like a little ball of just emotional roller coasters, ups, downs, everything between.
Well, it's so not funny, but last night a reel popped up of this girl was like, I don't know if you're a part of this dead dad club.
I think I've seen this girl.
Yeah.
She like has a hat.
I don't know because there was something in the background and it was talking about it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm like this is way too morbid for me right now. And it's like so many things because like June was when me and my husband got officially married, you know?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I missed your anniversary.
No. Okay, so pause. Okay, public service announcement. Okay,
You don't have
because
to wish happy anniversary. Is that what you're about
well,
to say?
I said my mother-in-law is crazy. She literally sends us a card in June and sends us a card in February. So for all of you out there,
Precious.
when me and my husband got engaged, we wanted to do a destination wedding. That was what we were going to do. We wanted to make our wedding a vacation and just have fun. Well, a lot of my family's crazy and don't get on airplanes, or they could just was not in the right headspace. They just had kids. So a lot of my very close family couldn't get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal was to have a very small, intimate, like cocktail party for those who couldn't go. Well, then that turned into a hoopla because I was like, how do I invite not my close friends who are coming to my party to this? So it ended up turning into this chaotic thing where we officially got married on paper in June,
Mm-hmm.
but what we consider our real wedding was in February.
So now you have two parties.
But okay, we're not even anniversary people. We don't celebrate. Like we maybe go out to dinner, just an excuse to go out to dinner. But now my mother-in-law celebrates it twice. So then my mom's like, I feel like it's always your anniversary. I'm like, yes. I go, and I just don't like feeling that way. Like it's just like overload. But it always makes me think that I was kind of glad, that we did what we did because my father passed away that December.
Wow.
So it kind of all worked out. So like this time of year, I'm thinking about him, and then obviously it resonated. So when she's saying Dead Dad Club, and then I remember, unfortunately, when Michelle's mom passed, I had said welcome to the Dead Parent Club because we knew so many people a part of this club.
Which is so crazy. I don't think in any, like, you have different groups of friends throughout your life. I don't have a group that even lost, like, literally, that has lost one parent, let alone, like, so many people in the same friend group.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, you guys have been, some of you have been a part of the club for, like, a long time. But it's crazy because, like, all of our parents were young. I mean, some obviously way younger than others. It's so wild.
It is.
It's like God, when we met so long ago, it was like, they said this at my wedding too. My pastor said this. He goes, little do you guys know that your story was always written this way and that you two were always going to find each other. So when you were younger, it was already planned. And it's kind of crazy because, like, when we all met, basically working in the restaurant industry, and some of us were patrons, some of us were working together. And it's like back then, it was already written in the story of our lives that we would have each other to like lean on as needed throughout all of this. It was definitely, meant to be.
Well, yeah, that's how like Missy and Jay became close, is because he met her when her father had passed, and they had a bonding conversation out in First Place's parking lot.
Oh,
So it's crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, like, that's the silver lining, is that, like, the support that you do get in those times. Absolutely.
Yeah. Loss is a strange thing, but it also is something to look back, learn from, appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe implement some things in your present life. Because I know even if you do your best in your current life, when someone passes in your life, there's always regrets, whether you didn't say what you wanted to say or you didn't show up as much as you wanted to show up, or, just all the things, and just perspective. So if you're doing anything this July, let's just have July be perspective month.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out of your way a little bit more for like other people. On my way, so my kids are in summer school. And so on my way to drive them to summer school, and they have different drop offs and stuff. And my husband now, like his work schedule, so he's at work at that time, which is so great because before, if he was working nights, the kids wouldn't even talk to him until later. And I was thinking as I'm driving, I'm like, oh, we could call. Penny's barking.
But you didn't really hear it last time.
Perfect. My dog's barking, but supposedly you can't hear it. I'll continue on. So I was like, oh, we could all call, my husband, and they can talk to their dad in the morning and just say good morning. And it brought me back, like instantly. I thought about when I was growing up, and my mom would do that with us. And like certain mornings, we would get to talk to my dad before going off to school. And then I was like, oh my gosh, did I, like, as I was thinking that memory, and it was like just a happy memory, I was like, wait, did I forget for a second that he's passed away now? Like, did I remember that memory and was just happy there was no like sadness laced with that memory, And I like those. I want to have memories more without being like, and I don't get to do that ever again. But more of it, maybe because I was thinking like, oh, that was a good thing from my childhood, and I get to then do that with my children.
Right.
And then when they're older, they'll remember doing that with their father, and just like kind of, I guess, bravo to my mom for facilitating that kind of memory for me. And I don't know, yeah, it was a happy one.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to honor someone from your past is to implement all the good things and the reminders and traditions that you have gone through as a child and bringing it into your family. And maybe that eases a little bit of the sadness along the way. We're doing something every day that like, yeah, he's looking down, he's proud, instead of like the anger that most people feel, like, why'd you leave so early, so many unanswered questions, or why don't you show up for me every day and give me a sign that you're here? Because I've gone through that a lot too, or I'm just like, Jesus, throw me a bone here, like you just want to be, reminded.
Yeah, absolutely. That's tough. My oldest, he goes, hey mom, like all the time we're in the car. He's like, Mom, can I play music? And I'm like, sure. So his latest kid, since the last time that we were in Florida, he likes, what is it called? By Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville. It's just that song. And I'm like, yeah, he sings other ones too, but no, it's just that one that he loves. And then after that, he'll play It's 5 o'clock Somewhere. And I don't know, those are like my dad's, like two, like, some of his favorite songs. And it's like songs that remind me of my dad, but like, how could he possibly know? Maybe he does, maybe he picks up on it that I'm in a good mood when the songs play or whatever, but he just like has this musical
intuition.
Yeah. And then, so as again, in drop offs and stuff, and I'm just like sitting there, like, this is absolutely like my dad, sitting right with us and being like, go ahead.
Also, you guys have a place in Margaritaville. Exactly. So that, and I think, isn't there a sign in one of the houses that say it's 5 o'clock somewhere?
For sure.
And I think at Fantasy too. So, okay.
I mean, that's definitely his slogan. But yes, I told Theodore, I was like, Grandpa used to make t-shirts for like our family vacations. I wonder where I get it from that I like love matching shirts now. But yeah, one of them on the back of it had It's 5 o'clock Somewhere because of that song. But yeah, it's like you could look for signs. And who cares if people think that you're, reaching, or if it reminds you of somebody and it makes you happy and you think, because wouldn't it be the worst thing if you were in heaven trying to come back as like a cardinal or a dragonfly or a butterfly or like a flower? I don't know. Like, what can you come back as? And if the people
flower, how freaking boring. You're like, flowers like live, their lifespan's almost like a goldfish.
They're so beautiful.
And they are, but they always have just like a small amount of window. Like they are only here for like a couple of, this when the season starts to change or the weather starts to change, they wilt and die.
Yeah, okay. Like, that's morbid. I like flowers, and people be like, they just die.
I hate flowers.
Oh my God.
They smell like a funeral home.
We've talked about it.
I know
that about you. That's how you know you've been to too many funerals.
Yeah.
But no, like, how dare people on earth be like, that wasn't a sign, like a signy sign. Like, it wasn't enough of a sign for me to believe it. I would haunt people if they were like, if I'm trying and doing all that I have to show you that I'm with you, and then you're like, throw me a bone here, where have you been? And it's like, hello, look around a little more.
I'm haunting anyone who brings flowers to my funeral. So you've been warned.
Hmm. Oh, like what would you want? I think when they're like, in lieu of flowers, send it to this organization.
No, I don't want that either.
What do you want?
Just help my family bury me. You know, if you want to give a couple bucks, give a couple bucks or bring food.
Bring food.
Yeah, bring some booze. Bring food.
To drop an envelope.
Yeah, make it a party. Yeah.
Pay the bar tab.
Yeah.
Open bar. Hey. I'm bringing a flask.
Yeah. Open bar, keg, a keg at the end of the casket. Ooh.
Actually, that's not a bad
It's got
idea.
a nice ring. Keg at the end of the casket.
Yeah. Are you not going to be cremated?
No, I want to be cremated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But, like, you could still have a casket. Well, no, don't pay for a casket. Those things are
Can't you just
expensive.
rent them to have like a service?
Still expensive. Is that necessary?
No, probably not. Just throw me in a chair.
Like
Weekend of Bernie's.
Oh my god. Get it like a taxidermist. Danielle's Oh my gosh. Yeah, what pose would you do? You would do like on your knees, like sliding across the dance floor.
Or just like I'm just really curled up, nice, comfy in my bed.
Oh my god, like those sleeping cat things.
Just get a dog bed, a big extra large dog bed, and just throw me in that.
Like your ashes?
No, like the body first. Like
body first.
so everyone can just come visit my body and then burn me. But yeah.
Can you imagine your family going to the funeral home and explaining, well, these are some wishes. Can you please get a dog bed?
I think that everyone who shows up are like, well, we would have expected it any other way.
I feel like that is insane.
I think we're on to something.
There's a country.
We should make funeral beds.
Yeah, they're probably
that you can rent before you get cremated.
I guess, yeah, if you rent a casket, you could rent a bed.
Yeah. You can make it look like, you know, the backseat of like a Ferrari or like a beach chair. You know, you can get really creative with it.
Wow.
Okay. I'm on to something.
Yeah, like you have to pick your theme.
Yeah.
Like when I get a bounce house for my kids' birthday parties, it's like, what theme do you want? Do you want it to be Minecraft? Do you want it to be beach? Do you want it to be Barbie?
Okay, I'm going to start working on that.
Oh my god, should we go on Shark Tank?
Well, we have to make the product first, and then we have to show proof of concept.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to work.
I've been waiting for this
idea.
Yeah.
You think this is it? This is the one?
Hey, but maybe if it's not, it'll lead us to something else.
Okay.
Because
it leads me to meet Mark Cuban, I'm in.
He's done with Shark Tank. It was his last season. Girl, you do not watch it. Yeah, it was a big thing. It was his last season. This season.
I liked him. I heard recently that he is the least successful through Shark Tank because he just he does it more for the heart.
Oh yeah, he always
And then who was it that I think Robert?
I do not
successful.
Would not pick him. I do not like him. I hate him. And I used to like Lori. Now she bothers me.
Lori's always bothered me. Her and just like the way, and then sometimes like she's not interested at all. But then if Mark's interested, then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, wait, let me give an offer." It's like, no.
It's just such a niche product.
Always.
It's just too specific. And then the next one comes up. Oh my god, it's the greatest invention ever, and it's only one product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bitch, you started making jewelry containers. That's a niche product.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and Barbara's a whore, and she only goes on deals with hot guys. She has a few women, but hot guys. Like if you're hot, she will give you a deal.
Wow, I feel like she's very wealthy.
Oh yeah,
crazy. Did you ever watch it when Bethany Frankel was on it?
Oh yeah, she drives me fucking crazy. Her eyeballs.
I don't know how you don't like her. Her personality is amazing. Maybe not now, but when she first started on New Jersey. I was obsessed with her.
No, I watch her now on like TikTok because I know she's like struggling probably to make money, and that's like she's trying to followers, but she's just, yeah. But
I like her. I like her a lot.
Well, I had an idea a couple of years ago, and then I slacked. But I don't know if I would have been in time because I'm sure the person that made it already like had a patent pending or something. Mm-hmm. So I got.
What was it? Or do you not want to share because it writes off?
No. So another thing about me that my husband loves sitting at the bar. If we go out to eat and there's spots at the bar, we're sitting at the bar. We're not sitting at a table, which is fine.
I hate that so much.
But the problem is sometimes when you go sit at the bar chairs don't have a back. They have the
Hate
open
them.
stools.
Hate
So then I'm like, dude, we have to sit at a table. Like, I can't. So there was this one time because it was just a better view at the bar. And I'm like, oh, I just hate this. I'm like, I need to invent this thing called the backup, where you carry it with you.
Ooh.
It like folds up, and then you're able just to like clip it. You're clipping it into a back of a stool that doesn't have a back. Bleachers at kids' games, you put that there.
Mhm.
All the things. I'm like, this is so great. So then we were just sitting there arguing because he thought he had a better name for it, and I'm like, no, the backup.
backup
There's
is
like a
great.
backup plan.
Yeah,
This is
backup.
great.
That is great name.
Well, then I think that summer I'm like scrolling on some, I don't know, social media or on Amazon, and they have these plastic chairs that you put over a pool. So you can put your feet in.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is like the same concept, the same idea.
Mhm.
So, of course, I bought 2 of those chairs. And then we find that they've made these things because you see people now. I see videos of people bringing them to the kids' baseball games and all that stuff. So it was already there. But how many compliments I get when I go to Missy's pool because I bring those to sit at the edge of the pool, and they're like, "This is so great! This is so amazing! Like, I should have thought of that." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit," because they're selling them for like $40 to $60 a piece, and it's made out of plastic.
So can you do one that has like a cup holder to where it's different? You know,
And
like it's like a lot of the products that are on Shark Tank are like already existing. They're just this one's better because what makes
yeah,
your
you'd have
product
to.
stand
There's,
out?
I mean, I have to talk to a patent attorney and talk about like because there's utility patents and all that stuff.
You'd have to
But
be really passionate about
the product, right? Yeah, I'm not inventing like a cat toy. Like I have to.
You're passionate about the background. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's a
So.
great idea.
But now I'm going to be passionate about this rent a cot for your casket or for your funeral thing.
Wait, it'll be full service because you like will have a keg on hand.
Yeah, you could rent the keg from me. You could rent the chair, and
Yeah.
then, hey, maybe even rent to earn. Because most people don't they take the ashes and they go spread it over Lake Michigan,
Oh,
spread
yes,
it
that's a
over
good
here, spread it
point.
over there.
Really, nobody should be spreading ashes around. Can you guys not do that? Can that be like
Why? Because I also think like, do you really
it's
want
in
to?
the air? Like a body that cannot be good for the environment. It can't be good
What
for me to
about
eventually breathe in.
ashes and soot that comes off a bonfire?
Yeah, horrible for the environment. I don't even like candles in my house. We do bonfires though. But the candles in the house too.
I don't see that body ashes. It probably like compost. It might help mineralize the system.
It's not like manure.
It might. Because I think that's better than having an urn sit on your fireplace.
Really?
I think that's weird.
Well, yeah, I don't have an urn. I have 2 ashes in my house.
What are
2
they
separate
in?
ashes.
A water bottle?
One's in a Ziploc baggie.
Oh, okay, good.
I haven't been able to commit. There's nothing good enough for it to be transferred to yet.
So maybe that's another business, making a device that holds the ashes that's more acceptable as a decoration in your home.
Because who wants an urn? You know what? My brother-in-law recently told me that he has ashes in like a turtle statue. There's like a turtle statue, and I guess like maybe I think it was his dad who liked turtles or beaches. So he's like, yeah, that it's like a little statue guy, but filled with his ashes. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. After my dad passed, we all like talked about what we wanted to do with his ashes. And some of my siblings were like, oh, we're gonna do a necklace. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna lose it. And then I'm gonna be like, well, where'd dad go? I'm like, I can't. But the ashes need to be just like set in one place, but not spread about. I'm not gonna spread them around. Just like one place.
I'd rather be spread than flushed down a toilet.
Well, we're not fish. No one's who's doing it down the road.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Are you asking Chad?
Yeah, cremated ashes. Oh, they're called cremains.
Cremains. Oh,
Like
it
not
sounds
remains.
kind of morbid.
That's funny. And then they say not totally, but that like ashes are alkaline and salty, which can damage plant roots and soil health if dumped in large amounts. Best practices is that you should use a biodegradable urn, scatter ashes sparingly in natural areas to avoid all in one spot. They're not toxic, but they're not naturally nourishing either.
Okay, well, we all learned something here today. If you're planning on getting cremated, note to self.
Don't spread them out because it'll gross me out, and don't flush them down the toilet because Danielle will be sad.
Do you want to be cremated?
Do I?
Yeah.
I could care less what happens to my body after.
Really? You don't have anything like you haven't talked to Mike about your plan?
Well, you know what? After we dealt with my dad and we like went back and forth a bunch, I do have a thing of notes in my phone so that people know what song I want played. You don't need to worry about it. Here's the song I want played.
So do you think that's for right now? Do you like update it like monthly or weekly if you change your mind?
You know, seeing how crazy people get in their old age, don't let me change it. Whatever that note was, just keep it.
But so does Mike know to check your phone
I
for the
probably,
notes?
I think I like,
Mike,
I think I
there's
sent it
notes
to
in her
him.
phone.
I'm pretty sure I sent it to him.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, but yeah, search your phone. Hopefully, it's years and years down the road.
So I'm going to work on a questionnaire and I'm going to send all my loved ones the questionnaire so that they can fill it out. And then it's just like on file on like a Google Drive that we're all shared. And then so everyone knows.
That is such. Wait, there's an app for that. Let's make an app for families. That like because it was ridiculous, and then one person thinks that this song should be played, and then and also flowers, no flowers. Where do you want it done? Do you have a preference? All the things. What kind of food do you want in the lounge? Like just everything. There were so many questions, and none of it actually mattered. What mattered was that you just got together, that you had family around you. And really, it's just for the people grieving, obviously.
Oh my God, my wheels are spinning. Apps are so expensive, but I feel like I have so many ideas now.
Let's do it.
I know some smart people, so I'll have to check
Well,
with them.
everybody dies, so it's like, who's your target audience?
Everybody. Yes, that's so good.
Everyone. And then maybe too, you could like upcharge people, like to be like, hey, if you want your own branded family app, we can do that for you. So it's just like your family app on your phone with like your little emblem and your name. Like how some like my cycle studio is gonna have a branded app versus just like you have to go to like
I don't know if
deathrecord.com.
that'd be worth the money.
Well, for some people it would be. We gotta shoot for the moon, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah, we can work out the logistics behind the scenes and we'll fill everyone in.
Yeah. That's what we'll do.
Well,
For the
thanks,
next
guys.
couple weeks.
We didn't know we were going to be inventing things today, so thanks for being here, just listening to us kind of shoot the shit.
Tell us all your ideas. Send us. And you know what? If you want to go in on something, let's go.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
present you
now
with-
accepting investors. We don't know for what product yet, but if you want to be involved, hit us up.
Mhm.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, seriously.
First round.
I love this for us.
Let's add more to the plate. Let's just keep doing.
We're not possibly doing enough in life.
We got to make it count, right? All right. Well, I think Patty was busting at the seams to talk about her highs and lows because she usually has to think for
You know.
20 minutes and she doesn't have to. She's like, I got them. Do you have yours?
Okay, how long have we been doing this? I finally, without even questioning, have my high low. So I'm gonna start with my low.
Okay.
My low was that last week I had planned to have my nephew come over to like hang out with my kids. And so he comes over and he's the cutest. And he was actually driven over by my nephew who's 16 years old. And it's just crazy to see these tall, handsome, fun, kind children, my nephews, walk into my house and just like hang out with my kids. It is so surreal. Time flies. So, anyways, they wanted to go fishing. And my boys, their fishing pole is from when they were like 5. They have like one that was like $20 from Walmart. So I asked Mike, I was like, yeah, can you take all the boys to Cabela's? Because the one that was driving wasn't going to stay. It was just the younger nephew. And so we've got 4 boys now. And yeah, I know you're yawning already.
God.
Exactly. Do you know what's coming in this story?
No.
It gets
It's
worse.
my allergies.
So Mike's like, I don't know if I could take like Cabela's is huge. There's lots of aisles, like there's lots of fun things to look at. He's like, I don't know if I want to take all 4 with like including Joseph, the 4-year-old. And so I was like, I had this brief moment of I could go get a massage or I could stay home and read a book for an hour or I go and help, right? So I didn't want my youngest to get left out because it was kind of fun being with your cousins, going fishing. What a memory. So I'm like, all right, I'll go. I'll take one for the team, right? And it wasn't until we were on our way there that I realized how much I regretted that choice because not only was it raining and drizzling and just like, what a downer of a weather afternoon that was, but I'm on my way to Cabela's. And like the boys were so excited. And I see a lot on social media of like parents at the pond with their kids and they're smiling and they post photos. And it's not just like once a year. It's like they do this a lot with their children and it's very fun for them. And all I could think was, I wish I was more like those parents and I wish I was genuinely excited about this adventure of the fishing, you know? So I posted on social media and I said, so there's like a high within the low here. So I post on social
Oh,
media.
this was your low.
This
I
was
forgot for a second. I thought this was a high, but I was like,
No.
you're not selling this high very
No,
well.
no.
Okay.
I did say it was my low, I think.
I know you did,
And then I felt bad because I started talking.
but you're not, you
crazy.
haven't landed the plane.
No, you know what? It's been a while since you've told me to land the plane. And every episode I listen to, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, get to the point, get to the point. So we go to Cabela's anyway. So I post on social media a picture of the rain. And all I said, and I almost didn't post it, you know, because I don't want to act like I'm an ungrateful mother or that I'm not the fun aunt or, you know, whatever, happy with hanging out with my kids. But I just posted the rain out through the car window and I said, you know, normalize hating boy stuff and then you being forced to do it with a smile on your face because all the kids are happy. So like you just kind of force it and you just go along with it, but like it's okay not to like it. And it's okay not to be excited and to like tell people about it. Like it's whatever, you know. I got more like LOLs, thanks for sharing this from my family and friends on social media. I'm like, it's been so long since I've gotten that kind of reaction. And I was like, good. A, I'm not alone. B, I would much rather be at Claire's right now versus Cabela's. But I don't have girls. So a lot of my friends were like, you can borrow my daughter. My sister was like dying laughing. She's like, seriously? But they had the time of their life in Cabela's. They were like picking out bait. And I don't know if you've been to a fishing store. I know we talked about like golf, how we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fish?
No, well, no, I don't fish.
Well, there's a story, but
No.
you're like, just land this fishing.
Like I just was watching them all fish the other day, and it was fun, like watching them be excited. And actually, it was really weird because there were a lot of fish being caught, which is usually never happens because it's just like a waiting game. It's just slow and boring, like golf. So it's like, to me, no. Like Jay's like, oh, let's go on the boat. You could have a fishing pole. I'm like, well, I'll just sit on the boat and get a tan and read a book. Like I don't need to hold a fishing pole because then half the time you guys throw the fish back in the water anyway. So
Yeah.
what the hell?
Well, it's very exciting when they catch the fish. So we got really good poles. We got cool baits. And then it kind of brought me back to my childhood because I was like, oh, I remember like the little like plastic worms, and I would always like the ones with the glitter inside of it, whatever. So that was my low, was just like, you know, kind of being there in the rain. But then my high was that like I was honest about what I was feeling, and I had some like, you know, people that were in it with me. And just also the high was like watching my kids with their, you know, cousin all weekend and they caught so much fish, so many fish, whatever. And I was like, what is happening? Because I remember it being so boring. But these kids don't understand. These kids today, they'll
That's
never
what I
understand
said. I
the
go
struggle.
because you have to have patience, you know. And then that was the thing too.
It's
Like
good learning, yeah.
you throw it in there, like, oh, I don't get it. They're reeling it back in. I'm like, no, it's patience. You leave it. You know, there's, I guess, techniques and different bait. You know, you twirl the pole different ways, and I learned it from another.
About fishing. That's great. I mean, I don't know about any sort of fishing techniques. And to be honest, I don't want to know about fishing techniques.
But that's the same thing like when you're like going back to like your kids and only boys or like your husband and going back to the movie The Breakup, and we've referenced a few times, but it's like, you know, if you love someone, even if you don't love what they want to do, it's showing up for them and doing it anyways because they like it. And it's the same thing for kids. Like 99% of the time I'm with my niece and nephews, I'm like, I don't want to be doing this shit, but I'm doing it, you know,
Yeah.
because it's making them happy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder how much of our life is spent doing things that we don't want to do, but
all of it, most of it.
but it's like for people that you love. Because yeah, like of course, it's like, oh, I have to do this because it's my job, or I have to pay the rent, or I have to do this. But how much is like you get nothing back out of it except for seeing somebody else happy?
That's a selfless deed.
Selfless deed.
And there are selfless deeds.
Yeah.
But again, if it makes you happy, then it's not selfless.
Well,
Selfless.
so I went to Cabela's, and there's nothing about that was not selfless. Even with my high woman.
Well, good job that you did something you didn't want to do.
You know, yeah, and it wasn't horrible.
So good.
Yeah.
As long as you come out of something and say it wasn't horrible, that's a win.
It is a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of had a high within a low too, or a low within a high as
Yeah, that
well.
works well.
Yeah. I had majority of them. There were some missing niece and nephews to the equation, but my sister and her kids and my cousin, who's like a sister, came down to the city and we had a beach day.
Man, you've been so busy.
And it was great. Like all the kids, just like seeing them off their iPads, running around, being great. Like it was supposed to be a beautiful day. It was supposed to be super hot, and it started cloudy and gloomy, and it looked like it was going to like rain. So like the first half, we were like, oh frick. But it ended up being a great day. And I was like, oh, we were trying to like, build sand castles, and, you know, the way I was sitting in the sand was super awkward. Like I feel like my hip was all jacked up later, because I was like awkwardly sitting there. I'm like so frustrated because I'm like, these beach toys, that's another invention. Like they make them so you could put sand in them, and then you make the shapes, and I'm like, you can't get the sand out of it, or like I don't know if I don't have the right combination of like dry sand or wet sand, but I'm like, how to make people make these sand castles like look like sand castles and not volcanoes, because like you couldn't get it square, and I was getting so frustrated, and we were trying to build a moat and put water in it, and the water kept getting absorbed.
Or nobody cares as much as you about the engineering and the architecture of sandcastles. Of course you care. Of course, that's your pet peeve.
But so my cousin Jamie and the kids, they all came down Thursday night and spent the night. My sister came down early Friday, and then it was all day Friday, and then we had dinner, and so then they went home, and then Saturday was a busy day because I had a graduation party, and then First Place celebrated their 19th year anniversary, so we went there.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I had a pool day with a bunch of people, and then I had to work. So by the end of Sunday, I was talking to my brother, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I just finished up showing." He's like, "Where at?" He's like, "Come on by." I go, "I'm so sorry." I said, "My social battery is drained. I am done." Like the thought of talking to one more person at this point, or being around kids at this point, I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "I'm done." Like I am done for the day. I just felt so drained. So I was like, could not wait to get home and just like literally turn off the brain. Because like you don't realize it sometimes when you're just like on a go, on a go, on a go, on a go, especially when you're seeing a bunch of people that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're playing catch up and then entertaining children for 24 hours. You're just like, okay. Phew.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot. That's a big weekend. I can't believe like that's like where people say if they have like one thing planned in the weekend, it like clear the rest of my schedule. You know what I mean? Because it is a lot. Also, doesn't it make you think back as you're talking about this? Do you remember college?
Mhm.
Like it was non-stop. We could go out every night. There was always people around. There was no silence. Maybe that has affected us. Then when you become an adult, you can only take it in snippets because you were overloaded for the 4 years in college. Like it's so much. You have no privacy, no space.
I think it's the age. Like nothing bothers you when you're young and your energy bounces back, and you can go out and drink till 3 in the morning and wake up at 7, and then take a nap, and then so I just think it's age. Like you just
I think
feel
we're
it.
tired.
Yeah.
We're tired. We want to party. We're just tired.
Right. Yeah. And then I also too don't want to be called old. So I'm just gonna power through it, and I'm gonna suck it up, and I'm gonna do it.
And then you're gonna crash and burn. And
Crash and burn. But I was just so lucky I was able to do that,
Oh.
And if I had to keep going, I would have kept going. Then I would have just regrouped on Monday.
Oh my God.
Regrouped on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not easy.
No. But yeah, 19 years at First Place, that was crazy because it puts in perspective too, like A, how time flies,
Mm-hmm.
and B, a lot of our friendships, people that met there, like it doesn't feel like we've known each other for 19 years,
Yeah.
but that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there that don't have friendships that last 9 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, definitely feel old.
You know, they say that there's nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to show you in all the ways that you've changed. And I feel
Ooh, we
like
should put that on a mug.
I didn't come up with it. I just love that quote. But I always think about that. And I remember when I was in college and I would come home because I started working at First Place in the summer. It had to be like going into my junior year of college. So I had started working there, fell in love with the people, and then I decided to go back to school down in Florida to get my degree. And I left my life in the city at Columbia. And then the first break, I couldn't wait to get home, But that quote just kind of like showed me that like I was growing and evolving and all these things, then you go back home and then you see everybody, and for better or worse, you're like, hey, like they're here, and like how do I fit again? And then maybe you felt like that going back there over the weekend. And I'm sure I know the regulars the same, or the same, people around and all that stuff. But that's pretty cool. Like I wanted to go, but I was like not feeling well, and the whole weekend was crazy. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely felt the same. People are the same, but it also felt different, like when you're away from something for so long, you kind of feel out of the loop.
Totally.
Yeah.
Out of the loop. That's exactly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It just made me think of a thought that now I just forgot.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, because you don't. Yeah. So Ginny and Georgia, yeah.
First off, yeah. Did you guys watch Ginny and Georgia? They're not Australian. They're apparently Southern accents.
So in this last season, in one of the last episodes, one of the girls was like, it's okay. Like I think we grew apart, but that's okay. And the one girl was okay with it, and the one other girl was just not okay with it. And like how she said it, and then how the reaction just had me thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, we talk about that all the time. Like understanding that it's okay, but then the flip side of it is when the other person doesn't think it's okay, or just like where if it does come out of nowhere, it's like if you're that friend thinking you're showing up for that person constantly and trying to be there for them and remind them that they're there for you through all the good and bad, and that other person just is like, no, we grew apart, like that's like earth shattering. But yeah, anyway, it's good. That's where I was thinking about first place, and just because it's been so long. And obviously, you didn't watch Ginny and Georgia, so you should watch it. You'll have 3 seasons to watch, but you can take your time because I guess the 4th season isn't coming out till 2027, so that's a real big bummer. Well, that's a
long ways away.
I don't know. That might be fake news I found on the internet, but that's what they said.
I mean, what are they doing from now till then?
I don't know.
Come on,
I
guys.
don't understand. Like if we're streaming and we're binge watching and we're consuming our life with this, like consume your life with filming a new season. Come on.
Wait, do you remember during COVID when everything just stopped filming because they like couldn't film? And I was like, wait, well, let me get this straight. The world's shutting down. You're expecting me to stay home for weeks on end, and you're not going to give like new programming to us.
But that was good for them actually in a lot of shows, because a lot of shows went like actually popular and viral. Suits was one of them during COVID. Like no one really watched it, and then everyone became obsessed with it. It was like cult classic.
Oh, I love Suits. Yeah, but I think I liked it pre-COVID even.
I never watched it pre-COVID.
Really? Do you love Harvey?
He's my mom, or he's my guy, not my man. Or
I thought you were gonna say my mom.
Yeah, I don't know what, but I'm actually rewatching it right now. It's my nighttime special.
Really? Have you seen that there's a Suits LA?
Don't even. I didn't watch it. Everyone says how horrible it is. I'm in a Suits fan club on Facebook group.
So you went deep dove into this during COVID. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in a group.
Yeah. So they said it didn't get renewed. It's so terrible.
What groups are you in? You're in a Suits fan club group? I didn't know that existed.
Oh, there's a fan club for everything on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so funny. The groups I'm in truly are just for cricket. Does anyone do like crafting? I'm in a cricket group. Love that group because that's great. I'm in a few babysitter groups, which has been highly entertaining this week with the drama. People like post like private messages and like call people out, be like, don't ever go to work for this woman. Look at the way that she talks to me in the DMs.
Wow.
And I was like
throwing shade.
It was riveting. And I was like, be careful what you put out there, because if you're putting photos or saying, horrible things to people, I mean, they're gonna put it out there whatever at their beck, whatever they want.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you got to be careful now because you can just really ruin someone's life.
Well, don't be rude.
No, I know, but you could also like, okay, yeah, I think majority of it's probably people telling the truth. But what happens if someone's just like, I don't like that person, I'm just going to talk shit?
Well, you have to have the receipts. That's the only way that anyone believes her.
That's a new word that I just.
I'm sorry, huh?
People have been saying receipts a lot.
And you don't like, oh, you hate it now.
No, yeah, just like, oh, okay, like, just, why can't we just say proof? Have the proof.
But you can if you want to be boring.
Clearly.
I don't know. My kids come up with new words all the time. I'm like a year in or like a year late on all like the.
Oh no, but like they say it in the political world, like we have receipts. So it's like everyone's saying it now.
They say it in the Real Housewife world is where I hear it.
Oh, okay.
You came with receipts.
Oh shit.
Yeah. it's serious when you come with receipts. Otherwise it's hearsay.
Well, it's serious when you learn it from Real Housewives.
Yeah. Where else do I get anything in life from? I'm lucky. I'm actually, it's a privilege to get some words from the Real Housewives shows.
Yeah, you feel educated.
Would I say educated? In the know.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah,
In the
trendy.
loop.
Like, yeah, like, I'm cool.
Yeah. I'm never cold to my kids, probably, or to anybody who's like 11 years old, but I try to stay cool.
Yeah, but you don't know what they say to their friends behind your back. Like, maybe they're like, yeah, I've got a cool mom. They're not gonna tell you to your face.
I also don't think it's cool to admit that you have a cool mom, so that's okay. You know,
It's kind of like most of the time, if you're giving like your husband compliments, it's mostly you're giving compliments about him to other people, and you're not going to go up to him every day and be like, "Good job, babe, you did this. Good job, babe." You're just like, oh, "Okay, he did it," but then you're like, "Oh yeah, he did this," you know, like.
You know what's so funny is that they say this with kids. Let your kids overhear you talking highly about them to your partner, to other people. That like it boosts kids' confidence so much to hear like good things being said about them. And so then it goes kind of like, yeah, to your partner, to a friend. Why are you going to say the good things about them behind their back and then not say it when they're around? Like, hype your people up.
I think secretly sometimes wives and husbands are malicious. Like it's like, well, she doesn't deserve to know she's amazing right now because she's going to go to her head and then she's going to be a dick and this and that, whatever. And it goes, vice versa.
Yeah.
Because like if I
Or are we lazy? Like, I feel like I don't say things to Mike, not because I think that he's going to be like,
oh, because it
on his
takes
high
so much
horse.
energy to frickin' say something.
Well, I think that you just think it in your head and then you're just like,
No, and I'm saying it because I'm like, I know my husband's head is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and he's not going to be able to walk out the door. All right, his response is, I know.
Yeah, let him.
Okay.
Walk out into the world confident that his wife is obsessed with him.
Find the energy to tell Mike he did a good job. Then okay.
Find the energy to tell him. I actually texted him today. I go, "You're a really good business partner. I love you." And then I was like, "Thanks for all your help." And he wrote me back, he goes, "You're a very good business partner." And I was like, "See, this is what we should do more of."
See?
Hype your people up. Find the energy.
Yeah. I think that's a good note to everyone. And perspective July, gain some perspective on the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and give them compliments. And if you can't give them compliments, then maybe they shouldn't be in your circle.
Seriously.
So maybe do a little July cleaning too within yourself and the people that you're surrounding yourself about.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
On that note, we are going to take a little bit of a break, a couple weeks maybe off to focus on some other things, but we cannot wait to come back with you guys. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you. And guys, we're going to be us, so you can be you. And please, and hopefully when we come back from our little hiatus, we'll have some more listeners. We're looking forward to it. Have a good summer. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, Patty. I looked down.